Sports Talk with John and John. I'm John.
And I'm John.
That's my son, you know.
Oldest, right? We're missing the shark.
We're missing
I think
the shark.
He might show up a little bit later.
Hey,
Shark
listen, thank you very much. The
around.
shark is going to be with us. He's going to be around. I hear him somewhere in the water splashing around somewhere. He'll be here. But you listen to America's, or what I'd like to think, or I say is, the internet's favorite father and son sports podcast on YouTube at Sports Talk with John and John at youtube.com. And you can Gmail us at sportstalkwithjohnandjohn@gmail.com. And then for you are those who want to leave a voice message, if you're so inclined to do so, 504-434-2509 is always available. Right now, let's move into it. The Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, my team.
Yeah, I
America's
watched that game. America's team. America.
Let's go.
Am I doing it right?
Wait, I know you're not dropping salt. It's just a simple raise your cheese. It's a simple move for perfect timing. You just go like this. That's it. You just that's all you got to do.
You said I'm not raising salt.
Yeah, you're doing the salt. That's just that.
Hey,
don't do that.
I'm a senior citizen. I get a break.
No,
Give me a break.
stop.
I'm a senior citizen. I get that. Hey, I'm on Medicare. Give me a break.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're on something.
Seriously. America's team, I watched Shedeur Sanders throw for over 300 yards. I watched him put together a comeback performance, I won't say of the ages, but I did see him bounce back after taking some hellacious hits.
Yeah,
from,
Justin Houston in that defense
Jeffrey
line
Simmons had him zeroed in.
Justin Simmons, yeah.
Yeah, he had him zeroed in that humongous guy that's playing for Jacksonville. I think he's number 86. He's got to be about 300 pounds. Defensive end. He's massive. I'll have to look up his name. But
you mean for Tennessee?
For Tennessee, that is. Thank you.
Yeah.
He took a free shot on Shedeur, and he got right up after it. Got right, big ups to him. Got right up.
Why are we acting surprised though? Look, run back the film. Me and you had this conversation, and you were trying to defend the positioning of him being in the 5th round. Right? I was okay.
Arguably,
so
I was.
You know what? And I know it's hard to believe this, but at some point in time, look, there's going to be a 30 for 30 on this one day, and I imagine we're gonna be previewed to a lot of things that will get exposed, because I'm still trying to raffle my brain, and I'm trying to just figure out how all 32 teams in the NFL could easily pass on this kid, number one, and two,
no argument,
ultimately determine that there were 5 or 6 other quarterbacks in this year's draft, or 7 quarterbacks, whatever there were, that were better than him in this draft. I still, to my understanding, my comprehension, I just don't understand. I mean, we've been watching him since Colorado. I've been watching him personally since Jackson State, right? And the one thing that I can tell you is I learned more from watching him at Colorado, because now when he's playing in a Power 5, he had never had an offensive line or running game. I mean, the young man was always under duress every single game. I mean, so he came from an environment where he had to learn how to play literally under duress, under pressure. It's like that quote, like, I came from darkness. You just merely, adopted it. I didn't see the light until I was a grown man. He's never seen the light. By the way, that was a Batman quote, by the way, from Bane.
Shout out to Bruce Wayne. Shout out to Bruce Wayne.
But
I was wondering where you got that from. I was like, wow, he's really being
that sounded like
whimsical.
Profound. That was like some Shakespearean right there, right?
Like some Shakespearean stuff there. I'm like, is
he
reading the Cliff Notes again? Is he? Did my son pick up a book?
I had my Amazon out. I was reading it. No, but what I'm saying is like, look, we've seen him throw. We've seen him in college, and he's. I knew it was going to translate. So that brings me to the point, right? What would the Cleveland Browns have been had they basically started him in the early part of the season with that defense? Now, granted, I know they lost, right? But arguably, you can make the argument that he's only started 3 games now this season, right? Imagine if those were in the early part of the season, because every game we've seen him get better and better and better at and more comfortable within the confines of the offense.
Right.
Keep in mind, this is only his second full week of practice. His second full week of practice.
Second full week of practice. That's incredible.
With the ones.
He
So
looked polished.
So all I can say is that he threw for 364 yards, 3 tutties, 1 on the ground. You know what? Threw an egregious pick, but I'm not even mad at the pick because the team was flat. He obviously took a shot. The shot was bad. It was ill-advised. Quarterbacks are going to do that. You know what? But everything else.
Plus, he's a rookie. I can go. I'm okay with that. He's a rookie. He threw it
absolutely.
in the middle, and he didn't get it. He armed it. He didn't step into the throw. He just armed it, and that's just going to happen. How many times have we seen Eli Manning do that off the back foot?
And it landed a pick. But
how many times have we seen Eli Manning do that off the back foot?
Yeah, absolutely.
He made
his footwork was horrible.
Yeah, he made a career of it.
But he this is what I will tell you. Whoever, you know what? I wish I could pull up the graphic because there were a lot of things that were said about him in the pre-draft process. A lot. And there's a lot of if you actually look on the internet now, if you're on the internet and you actually go through different platforms and sites, you can see a lot of people are doing 180s now. A lot of people are backpedaling. There's a lot of moonwalking going on. A lot of walking back statements.
Oh yeah.
Right? And and I bring me to that point. You know what? Do you believe now, knowing what your eyes have seen, that Brian Daboll was one of the primary reasons for the slide of Shedeur Sanders?
Without speculation, and just on this, my gut tells me not only is he one of the architects, I think he's probably the top of the spear of this determination to paint Shedeur as something that he isn't. Totally. And I think now seeing Brian Daboll and hearing what's coming out of the Giants locker room about him, that NFL with the Giants, I'm guessing they're never going to be on Hard Knocks again.
Well, they are already.
Really?
So you can go on HBO Max, and they actually have a Hard Rock NFC East edition.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, but I'm talking about specifically the Giants as an organization.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
They'll never do that because that peeled back a layer. And I said to you when we watched that, I'm like, listen,
going back to last season.
Yeah, go back to he's got his feet up. He's got an interview with players, prospective players coming in. He's lounged up, feet on the sofa. It's you go into a room where it feels if you're coming into an organization that quote unquote is an anchor franchise, but you feel like you're coming into a boys' room, a locker, a frat club. And I don't know if it was intentionally to make you feel like, hey, you're welcome to, it's just a guys thing, or was it just their behavior? And right now, it looks more like this was behavior. Shedeur was nothing as they defined him. We watched last night, or Sunday that is, this is the only rookie quarterback in the NFL this year to throw for over 350 yards in a game. Only rookie quarterback with 3 tutties in a game.
Correct.
And and by the way, fittingly, he should have won that game. When you go for 2,
absolutely.
When
we
you
can talk about that next.
Yeah, well, all right, we'll stick with Shedeur then. My take on that, what I saw beyond the miscue on the interception, maybe a couple of passes that may have sailed on him, but then again, it is Cleveland. It's wintertime. The ball's sailing on him. He'll learn to do better than that. I didn't like one of the commentators saying, "Well, he's patting the ball. He's pat."
That is just.
I thought, wait a minute.
Stop.
Listen.
Stop it.
Well, I'm bringing it up because that is what you do when you can't find something wrong with someone. That's what you do. When you go to, like, defenders are counting the number of times he's patting the ball. I'm like, no, they're not. guys aren't running good routes. There's only maybe 2 guys in a route to begin with, and he doesn't have a lot of time to throw the ball.
You're
So
playing man coverage. You mean to tell me you're looking back? You're a cornerback and you're 25 yards down the field,
right, and
and he's
you go.
behind a stacked line, and
I
you
th-
mean to tell me you're looking back at him and to see if he's patting the ball? Come on, let's be
let's
real about this. That's
listen.
just
I've seen
that
idiosyncrasies in
that's
players
so stupid.
that gave things away, but that was never one of them. That's a timing. It's no different than Alex Rodriguez and leg kick or Darryl Strawberry leg kick. It's a matter of timing. And that's what he does for timing. It has nothing to do with defenders. I've never seen someone throwing a fastball at Darryl Strawberry and going, well, I'm going to beat his leg kick. That's not going to happen. Shedeur patting the ball had nothing to do or has nothing to do with the defense giving them an extra tenth of a second to get on the receiver or an extra break on the ball. And I don't know who that announcer was, but I'm harshly questioning that as a legitimate commentary. That's number 2. My number
Okay,
one thing is I like what I saw so far with the Cleveland Browns offense rallying around him. I saw guys with him rally. Simpson,
Samson, yeah,
that third run,
absolutely.
Samson. Thank you.
hmm Harold
That
Fenton
stud that they
Jr.
found out. Oh,
from Bowling Green,
David Njoku. hey,
touchdown yesterday.
David Njoku. I don't know what to tell you.
But that was my point, though. My point was
But they
that
rallied around him.
yeah,
That
but
catch by
that was my point.
right, that catch by Fanning on that touchdown. You want
Amazing.
to make that catch for your quarterback. You want to make that catch. He made that catch. If this is what Kevin Stefanski is looking at to build off of, at this point is I might be walking away and saying, I may not be saying this again, and this might be the last time I'm saying it. Deshaun Watson, comeback player of the year. I may not be saying that ever
Yeah, you're not saying anymore.
again.
But see see like all the culmination of what we've seen
Wait a minute, he could
basically
play.
only adds fuel
He's set to play,
to the fire of
Deshaun
like the
Watson's coming
culmination of
back, right? He's coming back.
he's not playing. Stop it. He's not coming. He'll never play for the Cleveland Browns
Are you
again.
sure?
Like he's never at this point in time. Like,
So
you
the
know what?
comeback player of the year is not going to happen?
He's not going to be comeback player of the year. I mean, it's satirical to even mention his name. You know what? And the reason why it's satirical is because they're not going to put him back out there the way they've lambasted him, the way they've talked about him, and they'd be a fool to think that he has Cleveland's best interest in terms of playing at this point in time. The way they've roasted him over the course of 2 seasons, injury-filled seasons. They found their quarterback. He's on a team-friendly deal. They'd be stupid not to build around a quarterback on a team-friendly deal because what do you think if his trajectory is up? What do you think Shedeur Sanders is going to command on the open market when his real contract hits after being a 5th-round draft pick? Right now, they got him for $1 million a year. They got him for $1 million a year. $1 million a year. You got that guy, 1st-round draft talent, for $1 million a year. Absolutely. So you know what? They're never going back to Deshaun. They'll have a savings with Shedeur, and you can build around him. The point I was trying to make, honestly, before you completely threw me off kilt with that Deshaun
That wasn't my
Watson
intention, by the way.
trash.
That wasn't listen. That wasn't my intention.
Luckily, I
Deshaun
have a
Watson.
strong mental aptitude and high acuity. I can I
Okay,
can I can recall back,
whatever.
right?
Those
So
$5 words again. Come on. Here we go again. Here we go again.
so the point I was trying to make was with Shedeur and the way we're looking at him playing now. This only adds fuel to the fire of all the speculation talk that was happening in the early season. You know, like this only and Kevin Stefanski's play calling only adds more fuel to the narrative of are you sabotaging him, right? Like I mean, either you're
A
stupid,
double
inept, or you're
reverse?
sabotaging.
Are you saying?
Yeah, look,
Have you lost your mind?
either you're
A
stupid,
double reverse.
or you're complicit. Which one is it? If you're a stupid head coach, then okay, fine. If you're complicit, then that's even worse. But all the narratives, think about all the narratives the NFL was sabotaging Shedeur. The Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski didn't like him. Dylan Gabriel got the start. Yada yada yada, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? And now you see the guy come in, and in 3 games, he looks better than any other Cleveland quarterback this year. Keep in mind, at one point in time, this kid was 4th in the depth chart. They had Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and
Hey,
Dylan
put some
Gabriel.
respect on that. Joe
On who?
Flacco. Joe
On
Flacco.
what?
Well,
Okay, you know what? You're right. I could see Flacco starting, but at worst, that should have been your backup quarterback.
absolutely.
At worst. Okay.
Why is this still an issue?
Well, it's an
Why
issue
is he
because,
still polarizing?
well, he's polarizing because, you know what? Number one, the dynamic that exists between head coach and quarterback, because of suspect play calling like this, leads us to believe that it can't be something other than the fact that you're just inept. That's why. Like, I mean, literally, you know what? We saw Dylan Gabriel, and I'm not knocking on Dylan Gabriel, obviously, you know what? Because at the end of the day, he still made it. He was still drafted in the NFL, and he had a
Big ups,
prestigious college career.
big ups. Absolutely,
Facts,
absolutely.
right?
Facts.
So
That's
this is
facts.
not this isn't throw shade and pile
He's
up on Dylan
NFL.
Gabriel.
He's one
Absolutely.
of a rare breed at quarterback.
So,
NFL, by the way.
Yeah, look. You know what? Props, whatever.
So was Todd Beretta.
But at the end of the day, there was never a point in time in which Dylan Gabriel was better than Shedeur Sanders. Like, there was never, right? So the illusion of running this narrative where you had him taking the overwhelming majority of first team reps, being called the starter, and be giving leeway after leeway when you got the real guy behind you without any rational explanation, basically leads us to believe that it has to be something other than inept. Now, it very well could be possible Kevin Stefanski didn't know what he had. But think about it. You're the head coach of a franchise. Your primary job as head coach is talent evaluation. At the very least, you should know what you have in terms of talent.
Bill Belichick.
So yeah, so if he couldn't diagnose that, then you know what, Pop, it's time for him to leave. Cancun awaits. You know what? Maybe check yourself into a Sandals resort, secrets, whatever.
That sounds nice. That sounds nice.
Put your feet up, have a couple Mai Tais, take about 10 years away from coaching, and
what's wrong with that? That sounds very nice. That sounds like a wonderful.
Absolutely, it's better than Cleveland.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Weather-wise,
yeah.
But it's time for him to get fired. He should be fired. Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you, watching that game is very entertaining. I felt bad that I'm questioning why would you go for a 2-point conversion when you really just kick the extra point. In fact, if you kick both extra points and you make them both, you know what? You're playing an
overtime.
OT. Yeah, you're playing an OT.
And he's
then,
hot.
On both those 2-point conversions, the first one, the muffled snap by Shedeur, those things can happen. His center got hurt. He had a replacement at center. It was a muffled snap. It happens. It goes on. It's in the record books. There's nothing you can do about that. But the second one, that play call in the set, I'm kind of lost with that one.
Double reverse pass.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. But then again, I think Tennessee saw that coming, and that's why they walked away with the victory. Big ups to Cam. I think Cam Ward played a very good game. Also, I didn't think he did. He showed account of himself, but I think we kind of saw something.
The real number one.
Yeah, I want to say that game was kind of a revealing of like, hey, listen, the number one is playing against the number 151, and the number 100. Yeah, he looks pretty good, that 151, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a throw. I do want to mention there was a throw that Shedeur made. That
sideline.
That was just a great throw. Just a great thing. He made a sideline throw that I thought was outstanding. I don't like the knock on him that he's having problems reading zone defenses. I thought that was absurd. I don't know where that came from. He torched him yesterday.
He torched him yesterday.
I'm like, but wait a minute.
Zone end man.
Yeah, he torched him. He's threading the ball in between spaces. I don't know what. Look, again, is there an undercurrent when his name is mentioned? Is there something going on here? And when does that subside? When does it get to, or is it ever going to subside? Even if he starts winning, Cleveland starts winning. is there still going to be this undercurrent about Shedeur? Is this little that there's a is oh he's but he's but what's going on? He's a rookie. We understand rookies make mistakes. We haven't seen enough of him to make he can't throw against the zone. We haven't seen enough of him yet to make that determination. He's got to stop patting the ball. We haven't seen enough games to make that determination, and this is only his second or third start.
So I want you to name me the last time a quarterback got drafted, with anticipation, right? That you can remember that came from a Power 5 school that had an absolutely atrocious offensive line and no running back. I want you to think about it for a second, right? When's the last time you've seen a quarterback that was expected to do well, not have a running back and an offensive line to protect them?
I have to say that the kid that played with Houston, he could throw left hand and right hand. I can't remember his name. He's drafted number 1 overall for Houston Texans at quarterback. Didn't work out very well for him. I'm gonna have to look that up. But that's the last quarterback I can actually think of.
All right, so I'll break it down further. When have you ever seen a quarterback lead the nation in sacks, okay, and pressures, and still lead the nation in pass completion percentage, big play efficiency, and almost every single passing statistic, and ultimately win the Johnny Unitas Arm Award? You've never seen that kind of combination before,
No, we never
right?
have. To that point,
So
I can't think of anyone.
so the kid's he's been groomed to play under duress. You know what? And he goes to a team like Cleveland, where he's acclimated to playing under duress, and he just shows what he shows. And amidst the absolutely anemic, not even anemic, abysmal play calling from Kevin Stefanski, right? Who basically said that I gave play calling to Tommy Reese, but Kevin Stefanski clearly admitted in the post game that he still called them plays. At this point in time, either you're inept or you're complicit. You know what? Which one is it? Because you can't, like, there's no more gray area. We're past gray area.
Right.
You need to choose one. At this point in time, neither one of those are good to deal with. So I hope Andrew Berry basically. By the way, shout out to Andrew Berry. He doesn't give enough love. But look, you can come for me in the comments. But that rookie class that he drafted is amazing. That's a really good rookie class.
Right. Under guys that were under the radar.
Yeah, like
Under the radar.
Look, you
Right.
can
Under
say
the
whatever
radar.
you want about the GM, but the GM's job is to facilitate and get talent. I think hindsight being 2020, if he never would have traded Joe Flacco, I just want you to remember, if he doesn't trade Joe Flacco to Cincinnati, Shedeur is not playing right now.
Good point.
So
Good point.
Andrew Berry, you know what? In my position, if I was the owner, you have another job next year. So,
All right. We'll end it on that.
Yep. So perfect timing. Let's go. Let's go.